Daily. Actually, it's the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I don't know. I did something different, something crazy, and I felt like I almost lost the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I can't lose the show up front. Anyways, the Urban Therapy with Sun show, and I'm so glad to be here with y'all this morning. And you don't know, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm getting to this thing, and we gonna miss the days that we did the praise and made sure that we worked hard and got a raise. But this is a new day, and we gonna talk about after you have waited and finally got what you wanted. You know, it's always a great thing to get the things that you want. But what happens when you have to wait a while to finally get what you want? Will you still have the same energy that you had in the beginning when you wanted something after you've had to wait months, years? I ain't even gonna say days. I'm talking about, long-term goals, things that you have really wanted, things that you have asked for, thought about, secretly wanted, prayed for, consistently, time after time after time, and then you finally get it. Well, will you treat it the same as you think you would have treated it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, back when you first wanted it? Do you even still want it anymore? Because it could be the case where you're just saying that you want it, but it might not be the same as it was before. Hey, yo, Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. It's good to see me some. You know that is true. And Carrie Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going right in your sight. It's real. And I'm glad to see my peoples coming on through. That's my word, and you know it's true. So, yeah, after you have waited and got what you wanted, will you treat whatever it is that you got the same as you would have treated it years ago when you first wanted it? Yeah. We got some examples coming down the pipe. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Hey, let me put the call-in number. For some reason, I've been lunching on that lately. I guess it's because I'm trying to keep this thing moving. I'm trying to find a way to be, trying to be okay, But yeah, I mean, we gonna do a little head trip today, because when you really think about it, when you finally get what you want, you have to really decide. Wait a minute, did I really want what I? Wait a minute, you know what? Hold on. Edit. Oh, never mind. All right, we good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. I ain't gonna front. I thought I locked Crystal in my room. I thought I locked her in my room. I don't be letting her go in my room when I'm not here, whatever, because I actually have really bad allergies. So I can't chance her, sitting on my bed, laying on my bed, or being all in my carpet in the room. Like, nah, you can kill me outside of the room. I got to go in the room to escape you. It is what it is. But yeah, like I said, when you've waited for a long time to finally get what you want, do you still want it in the same way that you thought that you wanted in the beginning of when you wanted it? Well, we gonna see about it. We gonna see about it. Urban Therapy with something. We gonna see about it. Talk about it. Be about it. Yeah, rap about it. It's time, y'all. It's time. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm your host, Sun752. AKA Omad with the R. As a matter of fact, let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Saturday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on us Saturday. And it is Saturday, baby. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, bust it up with each other, go back and forth all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality and see how the universe projects us into this thing called the world, life, love. We play on the monkey bars and then the merry-go-round and then the sandbox, push each other up the sliding board and on the swing. Yeah. I'm your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Urban Therapy with Son show, and I'm so glad to be here. Stacey White, I'm glad you're here too, no doubt. So we're talking about after you have waited and got what you wanted. After you have waited and got what you wanted. Yeah, it can get a little different. It can get a little different between when you get something soon after you asked for it. Like, I wanted a new car. Maybe it's a specific brand of car. I wanted an Infiniti. I wanted an Infiniti, whatever the top of the line Infiniti is, because I'm not really up on that no more. But it used to be the Q45. Let's say I wanted a Q45. And I really wanted the Q45. But you know what? At the time, my money wasn't really right. My money wasn't really right enough to get a Q45. In order to get the car, I would have really had to struggle in order to pay the note. So I couldn't get the Q45. So for the past 7 years, I've been working, saving, 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 saving. And guess what? Now I got the money. I got a better job. I got a better position. I'm making more money. Everything around me has changed, has upgraded. I'm not even living in the same house as I was living before when I wanted that Q45. So I have gotten other things around me. Now I can buy the Q45. The question is, do I want the Q45? Huh? Because back when I couldn't afford a Q45 seemed like a great thing to have. Nowadays, even if I can afford the Q45, I'm thinking that that's probably not a fiscally responsible thing to do. Yeah, I love the car. It ride real nice. V8. You know, them Japanese engines be smooth ride. Smooth ride. Yeah, I can afford it now. I can get it now. I can go right into the dealership, put that money down, or my credit is straight. I ain't got to put no money down. I'm driving out with my Q45 today. But now, it's 7 years later. I can afford a Benz. I can afford a BMW. I can afford whatever really. I can afford some high-end vehicles. Do I want the Q45? Maybe not. Maybe I don't want that no more. I said I wanted it. As a matter of fact, I had pictures of my car in my room. Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man, but I've been taught that in order to manifest the things that you wanted or that you want, you got to put the visual out there and ask yourself, track yourself, how much closer to getting that thing are you? Each day, are you moving towards getting what you wanted, or have you got stagnated and comfortable? Huh? All right, so I can get this Q45, but my head ain't the same as it was 7 years ago when I couldn't afford the Q45, when I couldn't afford a bunch of things 5 years, 7 years, 10 years ago. I wanted everything that I couldn't afford. Now that I can afford things, I'm a little bit more financially responsible. Now the things that I buy have to make a little bit more sense. I'm riding around here in a car that I don't have no note on it. And it runs pretty well. And it's nice. The car is running good. It's looking good. It's riding good. I don't have to pay for a lot of maintenance on it. I just get in there and go. Make sure I got gas. Make sure all the lubricants, make sure I'm oiled up right. Make sure transmission fluid is in there. Make sure that all of my liquids, all of my fluids are right in the car. And I just go. I can drive from the East Coast to the West Coast. I ain't gonna have no problem with this car. For the past 7 years, I've been riding in this car while I was waiting to drive this Q45 that I can now afford. Maybe I'm saying to myself, like, maybe what I have is good enough, huh? Maybe it's not time to drive the Q45, baby. Maybe it's time to just, maybe it's time to keep this money in my pocket or in my bank account and think of some more, maybe I can make some opportunities out of this money that I have instead of running out and trying to spend and reduce what I had. Maybe I'm thinking more along those lines. This is a classic case of waiting, like wanting something, having to wait to get it. And now it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good look. I don't know if this is a good idea to go ahead and buy this vehicle, this car. Do I want to put myself back in the hole? Do I want to put myself back in the hole that I was in when I had very little and wanted everything? You know how it is, y'all. You know how it is when you're younger. And when you're younger, you see everything out there. You want everything you see. You want everything you see. Cars, girls, men, whatever. Clothes, jewelry. All the trappings of success. When you're younger or just young-minded, you see things through commercial lenses, even lenses. Like you might not be able to put on a $60 pair of glasses like that look pretty good. But they don't have that label on them. They don't have the brand new frames with Gucci on the glass. You're not rocking like that. So you might pay $500 for a pair of progressive lenses, but you don't feel good unless you add on another $300 or $400 for that designer name on the frame. Huh? So, but hey, I ain't mad at that. To each his own. But my point is that your mind frame may be in a totally different space when you can't afford things than when you have to toil and work and slave and burn that midnight oil. Now, the way you think about things is a little different. Like, yeah, I really wanted that car. I really wanted that crib. Or no, let's not say a crib, because a house is a good investment. Let's say you wanted to live in that apartment. You wanted that apartment. You wanted that riverside view condo. No, not a condo, because you can own a condo. You just wanted this apartment. You wanted to live on the river. You wanted to live in Philly and be able to see over in Camden. Not that there's anything great going on in Camden, but those apartments over there are very, very nice. I've been in one of them. I remember when I sold a house in 2008. And the dude that was buying the houses, he was just going through the hood doing his gentrification thing. So he was flipping houses all crazy. This was right before the real estate market got fucked up. Anyway, he told me to come to his crib so we could work out the particulars. I went to his crib like, look, you look straight over there in Camden. I was like, this joint nice. It was up high rise, right there on Delaware Ave, Columbus Ave to people who ain't from Philly. Right there on Delaware Ave, but it was right on the water. Right on the water. The dirty ass Delaware River ain't nothing to brag about. It's not a sight to behold. Nonetheless, when you're looking over water, you see the sunlight, the sunshine. You looking at another city staring at you, another city and state. Camden, New Jersey, looking right at us, looking all right there on the riverfront at Camden. But I'm in here in this riverfront apartment. Bottom line is, you may have wanted those riverfront apartments. You may have wanted to live in a riverfront apartment, high rise, looking good. Building tall enough for a plane to hit it like the Twin Towers. All right, that's a little exaggeration, but nonetheless, you may have wanted that, but you couldn't afford that. We're talking about $4,000 or $5,000 a month in rent. Easy. $4,000 to $5,000 a month in rent. Rent. $5,000 a month in rent equals $60,000 a year. I should hope that you really holding strong if you spending that kind of money. $60,000 in rent a year. Okay. But you may have wanted that, like, yo, man, I want this joint, and maybe you got yourself to the point where you could do it. You could do it. You in the six figures. Maybe 200, 250 grand, $250,000 a year. Doing pretty good for yourself. Got a nice little job, corporate thing. You a high-end, let's say you are a regional HR director. Regional HR director. 250 grand a year. You running around here making sure that you protect the interests of your company, acting like you on the side of the employees. Because that's what HR directors do. Yeah. Well, that's what HR is all about. They act like they on the side of the employee, but they protect the interests of the company. You find that out when you get your ass rolled up. But anyway, so you making $250,000. You can take a little percentage out of that, a little percentage out of that money, and go ahead and get that $5,000 a month apartment. But do you want to do that now? Back when you was making 50 grand, you probably was like, nah, man, I ain't doing that. But I really want that. As soon as I get a chance to do that, I'm gonna do that. Now you're making 5 times what you was making. You was making 50 grand. Now you're making 250 grand. You can go ahead and get that $5,000 a month apartment. Do you want it now? 5 years later, 7 years later, you ain't the young man that you was. Maybe at the time, maybe you was in your 20s. 27 years old. Now you 35 years old. 7 years later. Maybe at the time you didn't have any children. Now you got 1 or 2. Starting a little family. I'm asking you all these things because, as time goes, you grow. You start to grow. And the things that you wanted before might not be the same things that you want now. So how you feel about it? You got it. You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole wide world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. Your $5,000 apartment in your hands. 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 So you got the chance to do it. Carol Chamberlain says, I think it's more of a want versus need. I'm just saying, okay. I'm struggling right now. If I need a newer TV or just want one. Yeah. You know, they don't make the TVs the way they used to. You know, for people who are wondering, why do you see people running out to buy flat screen TVs during tax time, every tax time, during Christmas, and like what happened to your TV? Are you trying to convert all of your tube TVs over to flat screen TVs? Are you upgrading your smaller flat screens up into bigger flat screens? Are you trying to go from, let's say, a 32-inch, maybe even a 40-inch to like a 72-inch, 76, whatever? Because, you know, when flat screen TVs first came out, they was very, very, very expensive. 20 years later, you can get one in the low hundreds. You can get a flat screen TV. You might be able to get a 19-inch for like $100 and something, $200 tops, some shit like that. But the thing is, they don't make the TVs the way they used to. These TVs that they're making nowadays are throwaway TVs. Like, if something is wrong with the TV that you bought, you can't go to a TV repair shop and get it fixed like you used to be able to. So if you bought a TV before, like, let's say 2010, if you bought a flat screen before around 2010, more than likely when it burns out, that's just it. You just got to go buy another TV. They're not even making them with screws and stuff like that, so you can, you know, take it apart and fix it. It's not like that. And I found that out in 2012 when I had to get my flat screen TV fixed. Now, I only paid $1,000 for the TV. 40-inch flat screen in 2007. I only paid $1,000 for the TV, but it cost me like $350, $325, some shit like that to get it fixed. I'm like, yo, it's a lot of money for this to get it fixed. We only paid $1,000 for the TV. But that's what it is now. That's how it's going down. But they were able to fix my TV, and the TV repairman put me on. He was like, you still got one of the TVs that can be fixed. He said the way that they're making TVs now, you don't fix them. You just throw them away and get another one. They're like phones that don't have removable batteries anymore. They're like phones that don't have removable batteries anymore. So, you know, like your phone won't hold a charge and shit like that. What do? Get another phone. Well, you've never been able to take the phone out of the battery out of an iPhone, which tells you a lot. All the other phone companies are headed towards making phones like iPhones. They figure, yeah, if you can change the battery in the joint, then you can keep an old phone going. And that means you won't be able to buy another phone. We won't be able to sell new phones. We're going to do what Apple did. Make it so you can't You listen, you gotta come see us for something. You gotta come see us if your phone ain't doing what it's supposed to do. No more do-it-yourselfers. You won't do it yourself. No DIY. All right. So, yeah, as you get older, the things that you like, the things that you want, do they grow with you? Are y'all on the same page as y'all was before? There's a good chance that it's not like that anymore. There's a good chance that it's not like that no more. It's not the way that it used to be. It ain't the way that it used to be, baby. Before you wanted the word. Like I said, when you broke, everything starts to look good to you. Like, yo, if I only could have this, if I could only get that. You know, you've heard people talk like that. There may have been a time in your life where you thought just like that. Carol Chambers says, my dream car is a Range Rover, but each time I get a new one, I think maybe next time, don't want to bite that bullet just yet. Yeah, because you could get a Range Rover. With the car that you have, you could get a Range Rover. Because they have different Range Rovers now. Well, they have different, yeah, they do. They have different Range Rovers. Let's see. Let's look up how much a brand new 2021, 2022 Range Rover costs. Oh, let me do this. Come on. How much does a 2022 Range Rover cost? I could tell there's a delay in the microphone. Okay. How much does a 2022 Range Rover cost? Let's say a burger. Are you fucking kidding? Okay. How much does a 2022 Range Rover cost? Okay.
I found 2 locations for 2022 Range Rover. Land Rover Willow Grove or Land Rover Cherry Hill. Which one do you want?
I want the price of the car.
According to Autotrader.com, the final sales price depends on the car's actual condition and local market factors.
Shut up. Just shut up. What is the price of a 2022 Range Rover?
The MSRP of 2022 Land Rover Range Rover starts from $92,000 US.
I don't know, Cal. If you holding like this, then I'm me and you gonna be closer than we was before. 92,000 to 211,000. Whoa. Whoa, no wonder everybody running around here with those little punk ass Range Rovers. Those baby Ranges. Damn, Cal. Woo. 92,000 to 211,000. Yeah. Damn. I don't know what that car does. But for prices like that, if a car hits it, it should bounce off of it. Deepak Kumar. What's going on, Deepak Kumar? Thanks for coming on through. Gal says, you know me, Omar. I don't want the economy model. I hear you. I wonder what the economy model on a $92,000 car is like. Like, yo, I can't afford the 211,000, so I'm gonna have to rock out with this little cheapo. 92,000. That's all I got. That's whoa. I wasn't ready for that. Carol says, yeah, that's why I don't have one. I think that's probably why none of us have one. Sheesh. Hey. Serious cash, baby. That's real money. Real money. Let's see. 355 to 557 horsepower. Look at this. It's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Carol, 0 to 60 in 5.1 to 6.6 seconds. I didn't know a Range Rover was known for speed. Look at the fuel tank, 27.5 gallons. Yo, filling up your tank ain't gonna be, this crazy. But damn, that's fast. 0 to 60 in 5.1 to 6.6. So I guess the $92,000 one is probably the 6.6 seconds. 355 horsepower. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. It's pretty up to 557. 557 horses. 557 horses. That's a muscle car. That thing tearing up a lot of shit on the street. Once again, I didn't know a Range Rover was known for speed like that. That's some crazy shit. She said maybe 70,000. Okay. I can get an Escalade for less than that, and I don't even like them. Yeah. Well, an Escalade is a nice car, but at the end of the day, it ain't nothing but a Silverado truck. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. But it's built on the platform of a Silverado truck. I mean, you can cut it, slice it, flip it, bounce it all you want. It's a truck. I don't think Cadillac should have ever made a truck. I just don't agree with it. I don't know. When they first came out, I was like, "Ooh, wow, a Cadillac truck." But you get to thinking about it, like a Cadillac ain't supposed to be a truck. Neither is a Lincoln. I know one thing. You got a Cadillac Escalade, you go to Home Depot, you trying to haul some sheetrock. I'm just keeping it a buck. You trying to haul some sheetrock, you got a Cadillac truck? I don't know. But yeah, when you have to wait for what you get, it's probably going to be a little, you know what I mean? Like you've grown. You've thought about things. You've taken some bumps and bruises along the way. You've learned some things along the way. It ain't like it was in the beginning when you was just bebopping and I mean. It's a little different now. Carol says, I think they were originally made for safaris. Oh, yeah, the Range Rover? Yeah. They over there in the African Serengeti and shit. It's an off-road vehicle. But 557 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 5.1. I don't think that don't sound like an off-road vehicle to me. That sounds like racetrack vehicle to me. Carol says, exactly, Omar. But I'd take the Lincoln MKS over the Caddy. I understand. But the MKS is not a truck. Carol know about some cars, boy. She be shopping. Women be shopping. Women be shopping. But yeah, man, when you have to wait for something for a while, it's not the same. Will you have that same energy? Let's talk about people. Let's say that you really wanted to get with somebody. You had your eye on somebody like, yo, my God, she is the sweetest, she's the prettiest, she's the most lovely thing I've ever seen in my life. Man, she got the body, she got the and even if she ain't got the Coke bottle, she might have a 3-liter bottle. But that's your thing. That's your thing. You've had your eye on this little sexy, voluptuous, desirable for as long as you can think of. But she wouldn't give you no play. Or you didn't feel like you was built. You didn't feel like you was built to be with somebody like her. So you didn't give yourself a chance. But now you got your little confidence. She trying to holler at you. She trying to give you some play. But the thing is, she ain't the same as she was 5-7 years ago. She ain't the same. And spit out a puppy or two. Had a couple of surgeries. Put on that little pandemic weight. But yeah, she ready. Yeah, she's ready. Yes, she's ready. Yes, she's ready to fall in love with you. Well, are you the same? Because before, maybe you didn't think that you was hot enough, dope enough, fly enough, paid enough to get with this chick. She was into a different type of nigga, and you saw the type of niggas that she was into. And you still ain't one of them, but you can compete and bang with the best of them now. But it's 5 to 7 years later. She don't look like she don't look like she looked back when you wanted her and you wanted her. Oh my God, you would have done anything back then in order to get her. But it just so happens that there was nothing that you could do back then to get her. But now it's your time. It's your time, homie. And you're single. She's single, you're single, or you have a situation that where you can go ahead and rock out. But is your mind in the same place as it was 5 to 7 years ago? Not just on the physical, whether she looks like this or looks like that, because she's still pretty. She just ain't what she was 5 to 7 years ago. She got a couple of rust spots on her now. Yeah, she got a couple of rust spots on her now. And this could apply to women too. You might have really, really wanted this dude, but he ain't had no time for you at the time. He was swinging between this one and that one and all of that. Well, guess what? Things ain't work out so well with this one and that one and the next one and all of that kind of stuff. Or maybe it did. Maybe it worked out, but bottom line is it's your time now. This man is available. But he done put on his little COVID weight. Guys have a little tummy. You know what I mean? Maybe something about him ain't exactly the way it was then. Or it could just be that you came into a different type of learning or culture, or you grew. So the him that you wanted 5 to 7 years ago ain't the him that you wanted now. And maybe he hasn't grown. He seems to be that same OG that you wanted back then. But you ain't the same OG. You ain't the same OG. You done learned something, got a couple of notches on your belt, done been through some things. You done shook off all your ring rust. You done shook up all your ring rust. You ready to go toe to toe with anybody. Get in this ring with me, you gonna have a problem. But you can have that person that you said you wanted. You wanted love so bad. You prayed, Lord, please send me. Lord, please send me. Lord, please send me. Praise the Lord. You sent. Praise the Lord. Please send me. Praise the Lord. Please send me, yo, Lord, please send me the man of my dreams, like the one that's lean and mean and tall. And I think I got something for all y'all, and I'm gonna treat him like the best thing in the world. And I'm that type of girl. He's my type of guy. I need that man. Yo, please bring him to me, Lord. Yo, please. All right, so he brought it to you, but he didn't rush to do it. Took his time. Like God always does. The Lord don't be rushing for you. He know he got time. He knows you have time too. Anyway, that man suited you or may have suited you for a certain time in your life. Now you are a little bit different. Your life is a little bit different. Your living is a little bit different. You ain't on the same shit that you was on before. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So you got him or you got her, but do you want him or her like you wanted him or her before? Is it the same? Is it the same? What's going on, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill? I said, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, Max, and chill. Yo, relax. Everything is going to be all right for real. Hold on, y'all. I gotta. Okay. Make sure that we get plugged in correctly over here. You gotta make sure we get plugged in correctly over here. Allie Richardson, yo. Allie Richardson. We about to have the example coming from the Bay Area. That's what I'm talking about. West Coast over here on the East Coast. Stuck over here on the East Coast. But you've been here for a minute now. It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Yes, it will. Allie says, I see you live. Baba Omare. What's up? Can't stay because I'm cooking for my son's birthday. You always cooking. That's what's up. Allie in the kitchen. That's what's up. All right. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Carol says sometimes we outgrow people. Yeah, you ain't never done lie. It's an actual fact. Sometimes we outgrow people. But have you outgrown people or have you outgrown yourself? Have you just grown, Carol? Is it that you have just moved on? You just ain't the same. You ain't what you was before. And you may not even see it, or maybe you do. You know, like maybe the fact that you are moving on, moving in a different direction, have grown up, have matured, have been seasoned. You may not even see that, but I bet you other people see it in you. But the things that you wanted before, now you've had to wait for those things to come, but you got them now. Do you treat them the same as you would have treated them 5 years ago? And you know how you would have treated them 5 years ago because you know how strong your desire was. So this is not no big speculation like, well, I can't really speak on that. I don't really know how I would have been back then because my head was, you know what was going on with you. You know what was going on with you better than anybody else in the world knew what was going on with you. You knew how you thought. You know your secret prayers to God. You know what they consisted of. The things that you wrote down in journals and little pieces of paper and hid from yourself. You even forgot that you had that shit. But you know what that was all about. You know what that was all about. But you're different now. See, it's a lot different when you've had to wait for what you wanted. When you get what you wanted up front, when you only had to wait a few hours, days, or weeks to get what you want, it's different. It's different because you're different. You're different. Carol says, I can say that for certain. I have at a point in my life. I hear you. And Nar says, evolution is the greatest thing that happens on this journey. It's a sight to behold. You know, when you witness somebody else grow, you hear it in their voice, you hear it in their knowledge base, like, oh, you know what, you different than you were before. There's a lot of maturity that is taking place, and maturity can take place whether it happens because of age, but it definitely will happen because of experience. Getting old is hard. Staying young is harder. It's impossible, really. Carol says, you appreciate it more when you work towards your goals. That's true. But you know, even people who work towards their goals, they expect to have those goals up front. You know, we talk about a 5-year plan and all of that kind of stuff. I don't even really have to get into that, because what we talking about today really is about when you get what you have worked for, when you get what you have waited for, when you get what you have asked for, whether it was through your own volition or whether it was through somebody else making it possible for you. You still had to wait. Now, are you in the same mind state as when you had to wait before? Are you still there? Because there's a good chance that you might not still be there. You may be in a totally different space than you were before. Are you? Please make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Let me get them likes. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Please. I said, please. Share the show. Please share the show. Hit the like button. Please. It don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. Ain't nobody going, sell you nothing or put an advertisement on your phone and nothing like that. It's only showing. I'm only working towards an algorithm up here. I just need a little algorithm. You know what I mean? It's small, but it's significant. It's small, but it's significant. Please share the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show. And we're talking about after you have waited for what you wanted. After you have waited for what you wanted. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show. Did I say the Daily Go Getimism? Because it's not. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show. No, it says it becomes easier to smile. Okay. But, we wait for a lot of things. We all have our desires. Some of those desires we express to others, and some of those desires we keep in the tuck. We keep it on the low. Like, I want it, but I don't want to put it out there. Somebody might find out what I want and block my blessings or bite off of what I wanted. Now, what I wanted is what other motherfuckers wanted, and they fuck around and go and get it after I already got it. Now we got the same things. Well. Nonetheless, on the strength of you, after you have waited for what you wanted, but you got what you wanted, are you in the same mind state as when you first wanted it? When you initially expressed your desire? Are you the same person? Are you still there? Are you still there? Carol says, I don't think I'm in the same place. I don't feel like I'm in the same place. I feel like I've grown and made more careful decisions. She also says, sometimes it's well worth the wait. Well, let's talk about that too. What are the situations that you can think of where you have waited a long time to get something and it was actually worth the wait, where you was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about? Because those can be places, people, places, and things too. Those can be people, places, and things too. Like if you wait a long time to finally get with somebody, think about your history. You may have, taken the example that we was talking about earlier in the show about how, you waited to get with somebody. Are there times when it was like, yo, I knew that you and I were made for each other. I knew that I knew that when we finally got it together, when we finally came together, we would not only come together, but we would be together, stay together, love together, feel together, grow together. Is it normally like that? What y'all think? Is that often the case where you wait to be with somebody and then you finally get with them, and it's the paradise and it's the love of your life that you always dreamed of and always thought of? Is it like that? I don't know. Like I think back to girls that I liked in high school. Because some of them, because of Facebook, you get to see what's going on now. You really, I might have really thought they was 5-star, dime piece back in the 80s. We're talking about 35 years later. Are they still the same? I know they don't look the same. I mean, I can tell it's them, but they don't look exactly the same. Little difference. Major differences with some. It's not exactly the same. Does it mean I don't want to be with them? For me, probably, yeah. I'm like, yeah, of course. When I was 15, 16, 17 years old, the kind of women, the kind of girls, the kind of chicks that I really wanted, my hair was different. Even chicks that I got with back then, because I didn't have to wait. So if I really wanted you and I got you back then, did it work? Looking back on it, and I guess it didn't. But thinking back on it, if I think about my mind state back then, what I wanted, what I required, what I was willing to give, what I was willing to do, it's a lot different now. Back then, this person and that person was super special. Now I'm like, nah, now people have to prove how special they are. Up front. Ain't the same. It's not the same. Nowhere near the same. Carol says, not always, but sometimes it is. You see the potential of and other attributes in a person and align with yours. That sounds right to me. It does. But is it what you thought it was going to be if you've had to wait? If you've had to wait on somebody. Many times our ego tells us that we shouldn't wait on nobody. But your heart be telling you a whole different thing. Our ego be like, man, fuck you. Fuck her. Fuck him. Fuck everybody. Heart be like, well, I'm about to call him, her, and everybody. Ego be like, what? Yo, man. No, we not calling nobody. Heart like, we calling somebody. Ego like, come on, man. See, you be acting like a punk all the time. That's why I can't deal with you. Heart is like, can't deal with me, schmeal with me. We here. We's here. So it can be a little tough. But that's what we're working with. that's what we're working with. You know, after you have waited and got what you wanted, you know, if you see a cat play with a mouse, or should I say, well, they not playing with them to be friendly with them. They really killing them. But the mouse is the cat's toy for the time being. But before the cat caught the mouse, you know, he had to stalk. Cats be stalking, waiting. You may not see, you like, I don't see no mouse. That cat like, that motherfucker gonna come out, and when he come out, I got him. And eventually the mouse does come out. And the cat is right there, and he or she is gonna do with the mouse as he will. But a cat is patient. Very, very patient. I mean, shit. They sleep an average of 19 hours a day. I would imagine that they are used to waiting. You understand? But yeah. After you have waited for what you wanted, have your desires grown with have your desires grown with what direction that you were going in? Huh? Have your desires grown with the direction that you were going in? I wanted this, I wanted that when I was a little younger. I couldn't get this or that at the time, but I got it now. Yeah, having to wait for something can grow you up fast. And I mean really grow you up. Not just have you experience something, but it'll grow your mind. It'll take you places that you probably couldn't go when you were young and impressionable and full of optimism and determination. Carol says, I can personally say it was worth the wait, and I'm glad I waited. I'm content now, and I have peace in my life and security. I'm with that. But I'm sure that there are plenty of people out here who wait for something that they wanted, and then when they finally get it, they just abuse the shit out of it. They treat it like shit. And you would think, like, wait a minute, you waited all of this time just to treat what you waited for like it's worth nothing? Well, when you really think about how that goes or what that entails, yeah, they may have waited for it for a long time. But in waiting for it, they saw the changes that took place with it. It's just not the same. What I waited for is not what's still available. Especially when it comes to people, man. People don't stay the way that you want them to stay. And some people can't understand that. So a lot of times when we talk about somebody's potential, because we've seen what they can do and all of that. We've seen them in action. We've seen where they can go and what they can command and what their power is about. We've seen it. And we expect to be able to expect that person to just jump right back into the bag that they was in. And in all reality, they may not be able to do that anymore. That those things may have passed them because you had to wait. They had to wait. When dealing with children, we know that when children don't get what they want in the immediate sense, they will go on to the next thing, and which only makes sense because they're young and they're growing. They're trying to learn, and they are learning, and we are facilitating that. Carol says, but did they really want it? That's the question I'm really trying to get to, Carol. When you have to wait for something that you want, you're going to have a lot of time to think about if you really wanted it. Is that really what you wanted? Hold on. Okay. So yeah. Okay, Trey. Yeah. You're gonna have significant time to decide if what you said you wanted or what you thought you wanted is really what you want. That's a big part of being young. Evaluation, time after time after time, because things may be coming at you. Certain things may be coming really easy to you. But the things that you have to wait for, work for, strive for, be patient about, yeah. Time after time, you may have to self-audit and ask yourself, like, yo, do I really want this shit? At your job, you wanted this position so bad. You wanted to be a director. You was tired of being a manager. You wanted to be a director so bad. Like, yo, I want to be a director. I want to be a director. I want to be a director. And you made it possible. The stars aligned themselves. You put yourself in position. And now you are the director. Now you may find out that, yo, there's more to this job than I thought there was. And it may not be as rewarding as I thought it was. And even the pay is not as good as I thought that it was, or as beneficial to me as I thought it would be based on the work that's involved in order to do this job and hold this position. So yeah, you may have decided that, I don't know, man, this thing ain't what I thought it was going to be. It's a little different than I thought it was. This thing ain't rocking the way I thought it was going to rock. This thing it's not coming into view the way I pictured it. A lot of times, especially when we have to pay for something, a lot of times when we have to pay for something, we will evaluate if we really want it. Especially if you not only have to pay for it, but you also have to sign away a lot of things. Basically, you have to sign away your life, and or you have to deal with things that you don't want to deal with people that you don't want to deal with. follow a blueprint that you don't think is good. Yeah. At work, a lot of times you might get a position that you wanted for a long time, and then you get it and you realize like, oh, now I see why this position kept being open time after time after time. And I even see why I kept getting passed over time after time after time. But I'm more than willing for y'all to pass over me now because I ain't feeling it. I don't like it. But you waited. You really thought that this was what you wanted. You were sure. People asked you, you sure this is what you want? You said yes. Yeah, yes, y'all. I want this position and the money and the raise. And I want the praise. And that's another thing at work. You may want a position because you know that it carries a certain salary. And you may have wanted that salary, and then you realize, like, oh, yeah, this salary ain't what I thought it was going to be. The responsibilities of this job ain't what I thought they were. The expectations about people who do this job is not how I pictured it. This ain't fair. It's no fair. It's no fair. All right, where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. Thing just moving all free. It's just moving all willy-nilly. See, we have a call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 8658. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Son Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind?
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Or good afternoon.
Yes.
I thought I would just chime in. And as you're talking about positions that you wanted on jobs, you think you want them. You think you know all that it entails. But when you get there, you realize there's a lot more that comes with it that you really are not maybe willing to put up with or to do. I remember working and, working my way up to a supervisory position. The position became available and I applied for it. Went through the interview process. And I think I worked as a supervisor for about 18 months. And then I decided I can't do this. Because in my position, I supervised a lot of young people. And no shade on young people, but they tend to not have the responsibility or the, what am I looking for? Or just wanting to accept the responsibilities of the job that they have. A lot of young people take jobs as, well, all I got to do is show up. And it's more to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if because our young people have become more entitled and thinking that, well, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, and they'll just have to accept what I'm giving them. It got to be too stressful. Mm-hmm. It really did. I mean, I felt like I was a babysitter in a daycare. Mm-hmm. You have to be at work. And you have to be here at 8 o'clock. Don't stroll past my office at 8:30 tonight. Right. Hey, Miss Carol, I'm sorry I'm late. No. I got work to do. I don't just sit here and monitor you guys. I have reports that have to be done. I have deadlines to meet. I have to make sure that you're up to production.
Right.
And to sit and have to constantly counsel you and write you up in instances. And then I felt, I sort of felt sorry for some of them. So I would push the limit of not writing them up. But then it fell on my head.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I sat back one day and I took a look at this. And I called our HR department and I was talking to my HR rep and I said to her, what happens if I want to step down? And she said, what do you mean? I said, this is really getting to be too stressful for me. I think I want to step down and but I want to know, does it change my salary? And she said, no. What are you looking to do? I said, I'd rather be a business analyst because I only have to deal with the business side. I don't have to deal with the personalities.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did until I retired. I was a business analyst. I did not want to hear, oh, the daycare didn't open up on time. And I know these things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But young people have to understand, and I don't just say young people, I should not say that, but people in general have to understand. If you have a job, you have a responsibility to be there on time and be productive.
Yeah.
And it ain't just young people. It's some of us old heads that do the same thing. It's like, well, I'm just going to do my 8 and skate. But you don't do the full 8.
5.5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in my job, we didn't have, well, some jobs will have, well, I'm due at 8, I can come in at 8:30, but I can make that half an hour up on the back end. In my job, you couldn't do that. But when you got paid, you complained about, oh, look at this, they shorted me out my check. No, you shorted yourself out your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I just think that people want things or they think they want things. And in my case, at that point, I thought, oh, let me climb up the ladder a little bit. This is what I want to do. But when I got up there, I didn't like the view.
Yeah. And see, how soon after you wanted the supervisor's position did you wait before you got it?
I did interviews with my director, HR, my director, and I think I did it with the VP. So I had to wait for these people to review all the applications, review the interview, and see who they thought was best suited. I was offered the position. I accepted it. The money looked good. And I thought, oh, well, it might be kind of easy. It might be kind of sweet. But man, when I got into it, I didn't have a problem with the report meeting deadline. That was not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
My problem was the babysitting. And that's exactly how I felt. I felt like I'm either a school teacher or a daycare worker.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to school teachers, because I'm going to tell you seriously, that would have never been my choice in life. And I love children.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I waited maybe about 3 weeks or so before I was offered the position.
Okay.
I took it, but,
Yeah. A lot of times when we want something, we haven't really thought it out. You know what I'm saying? As time goes on, a year, 2 years, well, however long, you may have seen other people be in that position, and then you've learned more about it. When you first observe something and maybe you want to get into it, you already have your immediate ideas of what you would do or how you would conduct yourself or how it would go if you got it. Once you see more than one person struggle with it, you see the challenges not only that they're facing, but the challenges of the external challenges that are being placed upon them and that position or them in that position. It can give you a totally different perspective of what that person does and what the worth of their position might be. So it can change things. So let's say if you work at the same job for 10 years and you wanted to be in this position in the first year, But you watch this person go through it 3 years, another person go through it another 5 years, another person go through it for 2 years, and then it's like, yeah, you know what? I might be cool with just letting you have that. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
you know, because you might see what you might see the things about that position or about that situation that you couldn't see when you were younger. You know, you looking at things through a different set of lenses. Like
you know, I used to bring reports home because during the course of the day, I should have been able to get my reports done, but there were so many interruptions, and I'm always counseling somebody, and then I'm listening to phone calls, and then I got to pull somebody in the office and say, hey, let's listen to this together. Let's see what you could have done differently. In the meantime, I got reports that are due by the end of the month. I'm not a person who waits till the end of the month. Every day I'm plugging away at this report. And when it's getting closer to my deadline, I'm taking this stuff home, sitting up at night, doing my reports so that I can turn them in on time.
Right. Okay.
And if I hadn't done that, then I'd be behind on my reports, and my crew would have still been doing willy-nilly what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me. It was too stressful. When I leave my job, it's done. I don't want to take it home. But in order to stay up with what I needed to do, it came to a point that I couldn't meet my deadlines unless I did that.
I know how it be.
And to me, that was very important to maintain that I could meet my deadlines.
Well, let me ask you this.
That's a reflection of me.
Let me ask you this. And what I'm going to ask you is purely speculation. But you know how our people have been struggling for centuries. And in our lifetime, we've seen our people, including ourselves, struggle for decades, you know, wanting to see the end of white supremacy and racism and, you know, experience what real freedom is about. And we've had to wait years and years and years and years and years. We've waited all our lives. How do you think that we would conduct ourselves if we really got what we have been waiting for? Now, I'm taking into consideration that many of us don't even know what we're waiting for. We talk about freedom, justice, equality, you know, fairness and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of us haven't really thought it out. So for those of us who have thought it out, and even for those of us who haven't thought it out, what would you think? What do you think that we would do with real freedom if we ever got it?
I'll be honest with you. Unless we understand the concept of real freedom, we won't know what to do with it. I just, you know, because as you said, there are so many of us who don't get that.
Right.
You know, we jump on bandwagons, you know, like the Black Lives Matter movement. That's, to me, a perfect example, because everybody was out here hollering about Black Lives Matter, but you're going back in your community and you're murdering each other.
Right.
You're robbing each other. So do you really understand the concept of what freedom is? I mean, that's just my take on it.
Yeah. I
to answer the question, I don't think that a lot of us would.
I agree. I agree. I really think that that because our lack of understanding about what we should probably be focusing on is so weak, I don't think that we would know what to do with it even when we got it, because it would have to be a gradual process, and many of us struggle with that gradual process. Like, we don't understand what we are striving towards. We know we're going towards something, but we don't really know what it is. So freedom for us would be like it got dropped in our lap, like boom. Many of us think that freedom has to come from the white man anyway. I mean, he's the one.
Exactly.
He's the one who has us. He's the one who took away our freedom. So I guess we feel like he has to be the one to give it back to us. We don't look at it as something that we can do ourselves. But it is, and yeah. So it's a
I mean, like you said, it's the perspective that you have of freedom.
right.
You know, some people, freedom doesn't mean all the things that it truly encompasses. Some people just feel like freedom is for me to be able to walk into a very exclusive store and spend my money.
Right.
Now I'm free.
Right.
You know, and I know that's a far-fetched thing, but that's the mentality of some of our folks.
Yep. I mean,
You know,
a lot of us don't get it.
It's not, a lot of them don't deal with it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of us really don't get it. All right. I want to thank you.
I got something to do. It's been enjoyable. And it's been a great show. It's been a great conversation. But I really do have something to do. And just because you're who you are, I'm going to say this. I have not forgotten you. Things have been a little hectic here, but I got you.
I know that you didn't forget me, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to wait.
Okay.
All right.
Just so you know, I didn't forget you.
All right. Good looking out.
You have a good day. Okay?
Right, you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
She is all right with me. All right, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs. I want to thank the caller for calling in. I want to thank y'all for coming through. I want to thank everybody who participated in any form. You know what I mean? Thanks.
90 seconds.
Thank you. All right. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 21st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Sierra Bay. Happy birthday to you. And my girl, Francis Bam J. Goodson, turning 62 years old today. And also LeBlanc Katiana, turning 31 years old today. And Marlenia Harpool, turning 46 years old today. And Nellie Nell Belser, turning 40 years old today. And Miss Lady Leo, turning 55 years old today. And Ronetta Edwards, turning 38 years old today. And Ava Robinson, turning 33 years old today. And Jacqueline Starr, turning 63 years old today. And Patricia Braley, turning 51 years old today. Jerome in the House Media Dorn, turning 70 years old today. And Leonard Quattlebaum, turning 57 years old today. And last but not least, my girl Kenyatta S. Leonard. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious August 21st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, sometimes you gotta wait. Sometimes it comes in late. When you get it, will you be able to appreciate or what you get, what you work hard for? I don't know, but I'm taking score. No more. I want to thank y'all for coming through and checking out the Urban Therapy with Son show. We will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Y'all ain't think I was going to be on time today, but I was. Now, what you going to do now? But I see y'all. I'll check y'all out on the other side. So all my blog talkers, I am a holla back. I say peace. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all back to life. And all my Instagrammers, yo, Fire Slammer Jammer, thanks for coming through and letting me exercise my grammar. And for my YouTubers, y'all know how we do, but I get with y'all later on. Peace out, my boobers.